All right, most high Christ. Clap it up. There's a scripture breakdown. Second. Huh? Say it again.
The longer mic. You want me to connect the longer mic?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just speak loud. Speak loud is fine. Solid. Wait till the brother get up in here. Y'all have any questions? Just type them in up in the stream. On the restream. We only on YouTube today. Slovakia. Facebook is down. It's tripping. Any questions in the class before we start? Let me know. Today the topic is God loves with conditions. There's no such thing as unconditional love, not even in your own home. There's no such thing as unconditional love. That's false. That's a lie. Everybody loves with conditions, even the Most High, and you have to be able to keep His law in order to receive His love. Y'all understand, right? No sweat. We're gonna go over that. Go over a few things. How to choose the right woman, and all that. Right now, I'm gonna answer a couple of questions that I got this week as well. Any questions in the class? Good to go. All right, most high Christ. Let's get it. All right, let's get right into it. Let's get into love. What is love? Give me that. What is love in the Bible, sure? And John, First John, right? What is love according to the Bible? A lot of people have a misconception what a love is. You know what I mean? They think love is a feeling. Love is a thing that you feel. Love is in action, right? It's a verb. Go ahead.
God, sir. The book of First John, chapter 5, and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For this is the love of God.
This is the love of God according to the Bible, right? But let me break it down. So a lot of people like to say what that love is a feeling that you have. That's not true. It's not a feeling. Love doesn't feel. Love does. You do love. You understand? You have to do love. You have to love somebody by what? Show them through your actions. Your actions are your love. Your obedience is your love to the Most High. If you say you love the Most High, you have to be obedient to the Most High. Meaning what? Doing what He says, right? So you got to take feelings and emotions out of it. Because if you love something, if you're in the world, right, you found out that you can't celebrate Christmas anymore. The feelings of telling your children that you're not going to celebrate Christmas no more, your feelings you're gonna hurt their feelings, and it's gonna hurt you to tell them that, right? It's gonna hurt you to tell them that, or tell your woman that you're not gonna have Valentine's Day. We're not gonna celebrate birthdays. It hurts. It hurts as much as it hurt. It hurts to sacrifice, and it hurts to tell someone that. You get what I mean? But it's showing your love to the Most High. You understand? And when you get in the truth and you stay longer in it, you find out how easy it is to love the Lord and how stupid it is to celebrate a birthday. You understand? Right. So the Lord said, your obedience is how you love me. Right? Go ahead. Read what love is again.
The book of First John, chapter 5 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For this is the love of God.
For this is the love of God. Go ahead.
That we keep His commandments.
Y'all understand that, right? So if you love the Most High, you have to keep His commandments. Young man, give me Proverbs 16:25. Read it again from the top.
The book of First John, chapter 5 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For this is the love of God.
So let's make it clear. The Lord said He's not the author of confusion. There is no gray area. It's black and white. It's very clear in how to love the Lord. Read it again from the top. One more time.
The book of First John, chapter 5 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For this is the love of God. That we keep His commandments.
That we keep His commandments. Go ahead.
And His commandments are not grievous.
That's how you love the Lord, man. Look up the word grievous for me. That's how you love the Lord, by keeping His commandments, by doing what He says to do, not by doing what you want to do. Doing what you want is irrelevant. Don't you know you're put on earth You're put on the earth to serve the Most High. You're not on the earth for nothing else but to serve the Most High. Y'all understand that, right? That is the whole reason why you're on the face of the earth. Is to serve God in His entirety, not because you know what I mean. You think you want to live your life to the fullest. That's not what it's about. Your life belongs to the Most High. What's up, Buck? You got it? Go ahead.
The definition for grievous out of the Merriam-Webster's dictionary:
Mm-hmm.
causing suffering or pain.
Causing suffering or pain, right? And the Bible said it's not grievous. It's not going to cause you suffering or pain. It's not that hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Like these people make it hard. You make it hard by putting all your emotions and feelings into it and loving your child more than you loving the Lord, loving your wife more than you love the Lord. You know what I mean? Don't you love the Lord? If you give your love to something else more than the Most High, then the Lord is liable to take that away from you.
Right.
You understand that? That's the God you serve. You're not supposed to understand it, but I understand it. I get it. I get it. Go ahead.
If I could make a statement, sir.
Yes.
I was thinking about this earlier because a sister at my slavery kind of mocked me.
Mm-hmm. What you mean kind of mocked you? What she say?
Okay, I was in the kitchen, right? She's a cook, and when I go in the kitchen, I'm taking out the trashes.
Right.
So I'm doing that. She's like, "Do you want some pork?" And I was like, "No, I don't want pork." And I was like, "You know, I don't eat pork." And she was like, "What happens if you eat pork? Are you gonna disgrace Christ?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I don't eat pork." And then that was like 2 days ago. But I was thinking about it today, and I was like, to people in the world, if I tell them I don't eat pork,
Right.
it's like, why is it such a big deal to not eat pork?
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking, like, man, well, there's people. I was like, if I was to tell them, would you eat a rat? Would you eat a skunk? They would say, hell no.
Right.
But I'm like, there's people from other nations who do eat rat.
Huh.
So if I was to tell them, would you eat rat? They would say no. But another nation that was born eating rat is normal. So like our people are just eating pork and not disgusted by it because it's been normalized since we were kids to eat pork when it's really like eating rat, eating a skunk. But we don't see it because we just been born that way. I was just thinking about that, like, you know.
Con, for sure. You know what I mean? What's going on with you, at? What's going on? Shalom. Good to see you. All right, so read that again from the top. You sit on this side, brother. So from the top again, sir? Yeah.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For this is the love of God.
Right. So this is the love of God that we what?
That we keep his commandments.
Right. So it's something that you got to block out in your mind about the things you like to do, the things you want to do that you know that's going to break the laws of God, right? So if you want to love the Most High, if you want to be recognized as someone who is a faithful and sincere man who serves the Lord, you have to put all other things out your mind and say, you know what? I would like to do that, but the Lord wouldn't approve of this. You understand? It's like a parent. If you love your parent, how many of us said we loved our parents, but never listened to what our parents said? You get what I'm saying? You really didn't love your parents. That's what the Bible says. If you loved your parents, you would have obeyed them. You get what I mean? But now that we understand what love is now we can say, oh, damn, that's how you love somebody, by listening to what they say. You know what I'm saying? Now keep going. Oh, so like that's it, right? You read Grievous, right? You now give me Proverbs.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 29.
25.
Oh, Salaki. Verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyes.
Where you at?
Proverbs 6 and 25.
16. 16 and 25.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way that seemeth right unto a man.
Right. It's a way that you live your life that might seem right to you. Might seem right to do. Go ahead.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
But they ain't right. You understand? It might seem right to celebrate Christmas, right? And be around your family. Might seem right to celebrate Thanksgiving. Might seem right to celebrate a birthday. Might seem right to sell drugs. Especially if you're poor. You know what I'm saying? Might seem right to steal when you're poor, right? But those ways, man, those type of things end up in your life being gone, taken from you. You get what I mean? Scripture, what? Wages of sin is death. That's the wages of sin. So your love cannot be pushed. Your love can't be moved because of situations, because of your circumstance. Y'all understand? Love is love. What does scripture say about love? Love never fails. Y'all heard that before? Love never fails, right? So now give me 1 John 2 and 3. 1 John 2 and 3.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And hereby we do know, and hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
If we what?
If we keep his commandments.
Come on, man. That's how you know if you know the Most High. If you keep his commandments. Any more? Go ahead.
It's like verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
It on verse 3.
Give me 1 John 3 and 18.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
My little children,
Mm-hmm.
let us not love in word.
That's not love in word, man. That's not love by saying we love the Most High. Words mean nothing. You understand? There was an old saying, right? Words are good, but action is supreme. Y'all ever heard that before? It's a good quote. Y'all should look up, right? Words are good, but action is supreme, right? Keep going.
Neither in tongue.
Neither in what?
In tongue.
Let's not love in tongue. Go ahead.
But in deed and in truth.
But indeed, in our what? In our actions and in the truth. You understand? That's how we're going to show our love, through our actions. Not by saying I love you. It's easy to say I love you, right? It's easy to say I love you, but how can I show you I love you? Y'all understand, right?
Right.
Drop that. Give me that Matthew where he said they love me with their words, but their heart is far from me. You know what I'm talking about? And then young man, right? Give me Jeremiah 2 and 33. Let's go. Whoever got it first, go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah.
Yeah, go ahead. Take it. Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Why would you trim your ways to seek love? Y'all understand, right? In this world, in this society, you're always seeking to find love. What life have you came into where you wasn't trying to fit into some society or some type of group, some type of friends, or try to find some girl, right? You try to fit in. You try to trim your ways so this girl can like you. You understand? You try to trim your ways so you can get some friends. The Lord said, man, why trimmest thy ways to seek love? And this is really talking about us as a nation. As a nation, the Lord wanted us to be separate. Not only separate from other nations, but separate from sin. You understand? He wanted you to be separated from sin. Because listen, this is how you should be. It's how you should be. People should look at us and look at regular people, regular humans, and just know that we are totally two different people. You understand? Like you could grow with somebody in the same neighborhood. Y'all can come from the same block. Y'all want to go to the same school. But you being the truth and him being the world, and y'all should be two different entities. You understand? That's how you should want to carry yourself. Totally opposite from the world, but totally in the spirit of Christ. You understand, right? Yeah, your hand up, or you good? All right, no sweat, no hand. Keep reading.
Therefore, hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Mm-hmm. You also taught the wicked ones your ways. You taught them that what? They're going to trim their ways for love. The white man knows it for sure. He gives you everything so you don't have to be the person the Lord intended you to be. You understand? He tries to hurt you every which way because he knows that you're poor and you're in poverty and you need something to keep going, like drugs. That's why he gives you weed, man. That's why he gives you weed and he gives you alcohol. And listen, you can go get a beer for what, 99 cents? $2? What's some beers that you should drink growing up? 2.11, right? How much is that? $2? Come on, man. They got a beer. I remember I seen the beer for like, I think 99 cents. I said, damn. So you telling me I get $4. I just knock this, malt liquor down. I'm just drunk for the day. I'm good. Why? He wants you to do that. He wants you to be an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to be on drugs. He wants you to be high. You know what I mean? Weed is legal now, right? Weed, everybody been smoking weed. Now they selling weed, right? The white man is selling weed, but got every brother locked up for selling weed. It's insane, right? So the Lord said, you trim your ways to seek love. Don't do that. You can't trim your ways. They gotta get you high. They gotta like you how you are. You get what I mean? You trim your ways to find one woman. Meanwhile, if you be who the Lord intended you to be, you'll get 7 of them. Y'all understand? That's the whole point, is to be how the Lord wants you to be. Don't be like how they want you to be. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to seek trim their ways to find a husband or a wife. Don't do that. Don't do that. You want to trim your ways to fit in. You want to cut your beard off. Don't do that. You know what I mean? You literally get a lineup. Don't do that. You understand? Seeking for love. You'll change the way you dress so people can accept you. You'll change the way you talk so people can accept you. Don't do that. That's the whole point. The Lord said, don't do those things. Talk the way you talk. Don't hide your shield. Y'all understand, right? You go somewhere that's, people, you're going to get a lot of questions about your shield. You should have it out. Don't hide your shield. Don't trim your ways. You got to be absolutely who you are in here all the time, wherever you go. Y'all understand? All right, solid. Good to go? Anyway, what's the other precept we call? Let me read that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, and verse 8.
Go ahead.
This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
That's what they say, man. That's what they say. They say they love God. They say they love God, and they honor God with their lips. You get what I'm saying? That's what they do. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Right? That's what they love to say. But their heart is far from the Lord. Meaning what? They don't do anything what the Lord said to do. That's just not in them to do so. Can you pick it up now? Does that read it forget?
Keep going, sir.
Mm-hmm.
To the next verse.
Yes.
Verse 9. But in vain they do worship me.
But in what?
In vain they do worship me.
You understand that, right? In vain they do worship you. They do worship the Most High in vain. Don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing to the Lord. You got to show your love through your actions, man. That's what we said, right? Through your deeds, man. Through your work. Y'all understand, right? All right, solid. Hold on 1 second. Let me get with this precept.
Do you want the rest of that, sir?
Nah, we good on it. Solid. So now let's get into the conditions, right? How can someone say that you love something unconditionally? You cannot love something conditionally. Let me teach you why. Because if you tell your child to do something, right? Don't touch that stove. Or not, that's not a good example. Let me think. Let's give it to you like this. You're a priest of God, or you're just a man who understands the Bible, right? And your son or your daughter turns out to be a homosexual, right? What does the Bible say about that? That you got to continue to love them? Should you still love your homosexual son or daughter? Go ahead.
I would say no. The Bible does not support that.
The Bible does not support that because you broke the conditions of my rule. Y'all understand, right? This person, if you really love him, what should you do? Young man. Try to fix the problem. How would you try to fix the problem? Yeah, I mean, I'm just in general. How would you try to fix the problem? Young man, go ahead. You had your hand up, right?
Correction. I would say correction.
Correction how?
Words, scripture.
Like, okay, with what? Like, what would you do? What would you say to him?
Show them actual passages in the Bible where it says he's against that.
Yeah, let's say you already did that though. You already told him. He knows that it's, he knows that this is a sin. Homosexuality is a sin. So now what do you do to help him with this problem? I score, you know. Anybody online though?
You're saying he knows that it's a sin.
Yeah, he knows it is sin. He knows he broke the law. This is your son or your daughter. Now what do you do?
I would punish him.
How?
Or if he was old enough, I would kick him out.
That's it. You got to get rid of him. You understand? He got to go. And that's love. That is love. Now he has to go find out the hard way what it feels like to disobey you. You understand, right? That's how he gonna learn. And Lord allowed that he'll learn it and come back not a homosexual anymore. You understand? There's conditions that we have to keep. There's laws that we have to keep in order for us to receive the protection, right? If you want protection, if you want that, you're going to have to serve God. That's the point. Now, if you don't want the protection, deal with the consequences, right? You understand, right? If you don't want the protection, you are free to do as you want to, but this is the other part of free will, consequences, especially as Black and Hispanics. Psalms 147. Psalms 147 and 19.
Book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Right. So now he gave his what? His statutes and judgments unto who?
Unto Jacob.
That's the point. He gave his judgments to who? Us. The Lord judged us when we sinned. You understand? He didn't coddle us and love us and brought us in. He put us under the white man and put us in slavery. Y'all get it? That was the point. That you broke the law of God and he put you in slavery. If he loved you unconditionally, we'll be ruling the earth. You understand, right? There is no love without conditions. That's the point. There is no love without conditions, and always remember that. Even when you're loving your woman, right? If you got a wife, she has sex with another man, you still gonna love her? You still gonna just, not think about it because you love her unconditionally? You understand, right? So some cat molests your child, you still gonna love him? You gonna still love his your brother molests your child, you still gonna love him because we love him unconditionally? Y'all get the point, right? There has to be conditions with love. There has to be conditions with love. You can't just give your love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got a question now? No? Solid. All right, moving on, right? So we good to go. All right. Matter of fact, let me get one more precept before we move on. How should we love each other? Let me get that. Let me get 1 John 4 and 20.
The book of 1 John, chapter 4, and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
Y'all understand, right? You want to love the Lord, man. You got to love your brother first. The cat that you see all day, every day, that's the cat you got to love. You get what I'm saying? You can't say you love the Most High if you hate him. Y'all understand that, right? That's why it's important to always, if a brother offends you, got to what? Take him to the council or pull him to the side. He don't hear you, take him to the council. Make the council make a decision. Now it's justified after the council. Now y'all can be brothers again. But if you don't do follow those steps, those protocols, you might hate them. And that might stop you from getting the kingdom of heaven. You understand, right? So you got to make sure you follow those proper protocols. You ever feel wrong by somebody, you got to take them to the council. You got to pull them to the side, take them to council. Because if you start to hate that brother, the Lord might block you out from the kingdom of heaven. You understand? So don't be like that. You got to follow these things. Follow these things. If you ever feel like a demon is pressing up on you, always try to see why. Why? If it's something in your mind, figure out why is this in my mind. You get what I mean? And also, what's one thing that you always have to do? Give someone the benefit of the doubt. Anybody know what that means? Ash.
Meaning, like, because it's not clear to you what you think this brother is doing to you, because it's not clear to you 100%,
Right.
then you just brush it off.
There you go. That's it. Like, say if I stepped on your shoe, James, right? Yeah. Say if I stepped on your shoes, James, and I stepped on your shoes and I just kept walking, and you like, damn, I would that brother step on my shoes, and then you start thinking about who I am and my character, right? You like, nah, that brother not like that. He didn't even know he did that. I wouldn't even sweat it. That's the benefit of the doubt. You understand? Like now, if this is a cat, that's an evil cat. Imagine I'm an evil cat and I step on your shoe and I just keep walking. You're like, nah, that cat, okay, I gotta talk to this brother right here. Cause he's not like that. You get what I'm saying? He will step on my shoe. He wants to ruin my shoes. So might have to pull him to the side. But there's always a part of giving someone the benefit of the doubt, and that's your mercy. You understand? That's your mercy for this brother, and that's you saying, "No sweat. I ain't gonna sweat that." That because I know he wouldn't do that to me. That brother loves me. I know he wouldn't do that. You understand? That's how you got to be. All right. So boom, we good to go on that. I wanted one more precept. Love, 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 love. 1 second. We'll come back to it if anything. You got a question? All right, solid. So now let me get what was I had to answer? How to answer something. Let me look up 1 second. Boom, boom. We went over we went over what's the cat's name? Last week. We went over Cain, right? Cain, the water. We didn't get to that. We didn't get to that one part with Cain with the 7 times fold, did we? I think we skipped it. We at the end. Let's go back to there. Let's go to Genesis 4 and 14. Remember last week we was talking about Cain and Abel and how Esau had the spirit of Cain to kill, right, to murder, right, and how the Lord drove him out from the earth, meaning from amongst people, right, and he took him out. He had to go live in the mountains, away from the people. He got hit with leprosy. Leprosy is when your skin turns white, and it's also a condition when everyone knows that the Lord is against you. Y'all understand? It's a condition where back then when people had leprosy, it was like the Lord cursed you. Y'all get that, right? So remember, we was at where Abel said, or it's like Cain said, well, if they see me like this, they're going to kill me. And the Lord said, no sweat. They won't be able to kill you because if they do, I'll kill them 7 times fold. Right? Let's go there. We did read this a little bit, right? Go ahead. Okay, it was something else then we had to finish. I'm trying to remember. If y'all don't remember last week? Go ahead, sis.
The only thing I noticed that you brought up but didn't go over was when you were, the topic was the Holy Spirit. You brought up Zechariah 11 and 16 and John 10 and 12, but you didn't go over it.
What the Holy Spirit is? Okay, I remember going over the Holy Spirit. Okay, 1 second. It was something else in Cain and Abel I had to go over. We talked about how the Holy Spirit was a courageous spirit, right? Y'all remember that at all or no? Okay. All right, let me come back to that. I'll answer these other questions. Let me get this depression precept real quick, all right? Let me get Ezekiel, so like Ecclesiasticus 37 and 14. Mm-hmm. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Wait, Salaki, is it Ecclesiasticus? Yeah, it is.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
For a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in an high tower. Verse 15. And above all this pray to the Most High, that he will direct thy way in truth. Let reason go before every enterprise and counsel before every action.
So now let me tell you what is depression. Anybody know what depression is? And look it up for me, young man. I know some people might have battled with depression, right? A lot of women battle with depression, especially after having a baby. They call it postpartum. What is it? Postpartum, right? Postpartum, right? Some people are actually born with it. It comes from what's that word? Hereditary. You know what I mean? Your father might have been a depressed person, so you get it when you get to a certain age. It's really because y'all mostly because you live the same life. Give me depression in a dictionary.
This is the definition of depression out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
An act of depressing or a state of being depressed, such as a state of feeling sad or low spirits.
Right.
Melanonic.
I take that. This the feeling of feeling sad or of low spirit, right? And of course, you know, depression is just like any other demon. But it's a serious one though. You know what I mean? A lot of people might battle it because of, you know, sadness, because of their mother died, they lost somebody, because they missing something. It's a lot of things, because they don't feel like they where they should be. You get what I mean? It's all these things. It's clinically, it's a clinical thing. It's a feeling. But most times people don't, what they don't do is they don't fight depression. That's the problem. They just allow themselves to be depressed. But there is a thing that you have to do to fight depression. We're going to get over it. Go ahead. Hopeless. Hopeless is another good one. You know what I mean? I know some people that feel so depressed that they feel like it's like waking up. The depression is so deep that it feels like every day that someone died. You get what I'm saying? It's that deep, right? But you have to snap out of depression, because depression can kill you, right? Depression can absolutely kill you. A lot of suicides or just sadness, heart failure, right? So let's get to it, right? You got what we holding?
We just read Ecclesiastes 37:14.
Okay, Salaki, read that again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37, and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
For a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen.
Right. What kind of man is this?
For a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen.
Your mind is gonna what? Battle with you and tell you how to feel, right? What's really happening is a demon is on you, and a demon wants you to be sad. Like most demons want you to be miserable, and they want to change your trajectory of what's right to all me, to just try to put everything about yourself. And depression is all about yourself. That's the problem. It ain't about no one else. It's about thinking about your situation, right? Your situation is always going to be the worst situation, because most people are naturally selfish. They think about their self. You know what I'm saying? If you can stop thinking about yourself for a second and think about someone else, then maybe you won't feel so depressed. Y'all familiar with this, right? We went over this before, right? Depression is all about it's a self-inflicted wound, because you're thinking about your problems, right? Your problems matter. Read again from the top.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37, and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
For a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in an high tower.
Go ahead.
And above all this, pray to the Most High, and He will direct thy way in truth.
And that's what you want to do in these times, right? You want to pray to the Most High, so He can direct thy way in truth. You want to look at the Lord. So how do you pray to the Lord? You pray to the Lord, and then you also get the counsel, right? Get the counsel. Counsel is important because you need tools, right? A lot of tools in the world are what? Give me a tool in the world that they use to fight depression. Go ahead.
Like medication.
Like what kind of medication?
Zoloft pills.
Yeah. Antidepressants, right? What else? I mean, it's a number one drug in my mind. Go ahead. Music. People do listen to music. Go ahead. Weed is the number one answer to depression for sure. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people are high all day. You understand? And I heard there's some new weed out here. It's ridiculous. It's like damn near like crack cocaine, how addicting it is and how strong it is, right? They get on the weed. You wonder why someone can smoke about 10, 15 blunts a day, right? And you thinking like, damn, he really a smoker. That's what you think. He just got big. He's a big smoker. He got big, strong lungs. No, he's depressed. They're depressed. They love being in the state of that's not in reality. You know what I'm saying? Reality is too much sometimes. Too much. To think about everything that's going on is too much. But to be high, oh yeah, that's how I need to be. You understand, right? Keep going. Read more.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Let reason go before every enterprise. A counsel before every action.
Mm-hmm.
The countenance is a sign of change.
Wait, slow down. Let reason what?
Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
Keep going.
The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart.
The countenance is a sign of changing from the heart. Sometimes you're gonna look at a person and be like, damn, this person is super sad. This person is depressed. Right? You got to change your countenance on your face first. That's how it works. Go ahead.
Verse 18. For manner of things appeared, good and evil, life and death.
Mm-hmm.
But the tongue ruleth over them continually.
But the what ruleth over you?
But the tongue ruleth over them continually.
Keep going.
Verse 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Stop right there. Give me 1 Corinthians 13:7. 1 Corinthians 13:7.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 7. Beareth all things, believeth all things.
Hold on 1 second. Read it from the top.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 7. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things.
Slock it one more time.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 7. Beareth all things, believeth all
He
things,
said, beareth all things, right? Beareth all things. Go ahead.
believeth all things,
Believeth all things. Go ahead.
hopeth all things,
Mm-hmm.
endureth all things.
Go ahead.
Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
There's another part of depression that people don't like to talk about either. Is the point of, listen, man. Sometimes suffering is a part of life. Y'all understand that? Suffering is a part of life. If you have children, you're gonna suffer because you love them. You get what I'm saying? If you're in a marriage, you might suffer here and there because you love each other. Not every moment of your life should you have to be happy, or not everything. Everything is not always gonna go your way. That's just life. Y'all get that, right? You know what I'm saying? But some people believe that they should be happy all the time. I was talking to my rib, and there was some cat that said he don't care if his son is a homosexual as long as he's just happy. I said, damn. You don't care if your son is a homosexual as long as he's happy. Is being happy just the number one thing in life? You know what I mean? Happy is a state of a state, right? You're gonna be happy for what, an hour, maybe 2 hours. You went to Florida, we had a good time. We was happy for those few days, right? We had a good time, right? But it comes and goes, just like anger comes and goes, just like bad times come and go. But being content with what you have is what matters, right? Being content is the number one thing. You have to be strong. You cannot be weak, right? Now, I'm not saying if you're depressed, you're weak, but sometimes some things you're gonna have to take on and battle, and you're gonna have to live with it for a time. Just for a time. It's not going to be forever. It's going to be for a time. You're going to get some pushback in life. And you're going to have to push back. You can't just fall to defeat, right? If something is against you, you can't just give up, right? You got to keep fighting it. You got to keep fighting it. But people tend to give up. People want to be sad, and people just want to be depressed. You get what I'm saying? Because they feel like there is no solution when there's a solution to everything. Go ahead.
Because it's easier for them. It's easier not to fight. So when you ask somebody to fight and battle and face their demons,
Nazar, come here.
it's more challenging for them when they could just give up.
Right. And that's the point, right? Giving up is what the demon wants. Y'all understand? Yeah, that person. All right. So say it one more time, sis.
I said it's so much easier for people to give up when they're faced with depression or any challenges that life brings you. When you should be battling and stepping up to the plate to challenge
Mhm.
that demon or that occasion that life is bringing to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Give me 1 Timothy 2 and 3. Start at verse 1.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 1. I exhort, therefore, that first of all.
Wait, was this First Timothy?
Come on, come on.
Give me Second Timothy 2:1.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Thou, therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Christ Jesus,
Keep going.
and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses.
So the Lord said, listen, man, be strong in the grace, right? What's the grace? The time for us to get right. Why he said be strong? Because during that time to get right, be strong. Don't be weak. Y'all understand, right? So in that time of being of that grace, the Lord saying, man, don't be a sinner. Be strong during that time, right? Keep going.
The same commit thou to faithful men,
The same commit not to faithful men. Go ahead.
who shall be able to teach others also.
Mm-hmm.
Thou, therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, this one too. This person too. Someone in the chat acting wild. But go ahead. One more time from the top. Verse 2. Yeah.
And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men,
Mm-hmm.
who shall be able to teach others also. Thou, therefore, endure hardness.
Endure what?
Endure hardness.
That's the point. Listen, man, sometimes some things are going to be hard in life. And just to go back, right, there's another precept I need. If you can find this, I score, it's in the Apocrypha. It's driving out. It's driving out the depression, driving out the sadness, and to put in the, you know what I'm talking about? Find it for me, Bobby Shaw, and then let me know when we got it. Read 2 and 3 again.
Thou, therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ.
Endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ, man. Like a lot of brothers, how hard did you want to be growing up? You know, my first lesson in life was my auntie told me, right? She said, you know, you can't be no punk. I said, damn, can't be no punk. I remember how old I was, but I remember you couldn't be no punk. Being a punk was just, you know, that's not tough. You get what I'm saying? It's not tough, right? It's just like me not being a coward. You can't be a coward. Win, lose, or draw, right? Y'all heard that growing up, right? Win, lose, or draw, but you can't run. You can't, turn nothing down. You can't be a punk. You got to be a man. Go ahead, shut her up.
Yeah, I remember coming up, my father got us a play friend. He was older than my oldest brother. He used to come in, but he had a purpose. We didn't know. He used to punch us in the chest every day.
Right.
He see us every day. He
Right.
punch us in the chest. I used to take it. Then after a while, I start punching back. He's like, yeah, that's what I want you.
Right. And the Lord said, listen, endure that hardness. And times will be hard sometimes. But the Lord said, I want you to endure it, though. That's how you know this ain't no Christian bullshit. You understand? This ain't that. Christianity is to tell you to pray on it or whatever, right? And here, we're gonna say, you're gonna tell me about what you're going through, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I know. You have to go through it. Y'all get it, right? You're gonna have to go through it. Yeah, I know it's like there's no magical thing I can tell you that's gonna, change your situation overnight. Some things we're just gonna have to go through. But the thing is, we're gonna go through it without drugs. You understand? We're gonna go through it with the Spirit of Christ, knowing that the Lord is with us the whole time. You understand? That's how you gotta look at it, brother. Like Paul was in prison, right? Paul was in prison, and the Lord was with Paul in that prison. He turned the whole prison into brothers who want to come and serve the Lord now. Like, you know what I mean? That's how we got to think of it. I don't want to be in prison, but if I was in prison, listen, this is what I have to do. Like, everyone's situation is different, but everyone is expected to have the Spirit of Christ continuously. You understand? And don't let demons devour them, because demons want to devour you. That's the point. So the Lord said, endure hardness as a good soldier in Christ. Keep going. Is that what it said?
Come on.
Keep going.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
No man that weareth entangleth himself.
Warreth. No man that warreth. Go
No
ahead.
man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life,
You found that precept out?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
And that's the point. The Lord said, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. Don't worry about it. I know, listen, but you're behind on bills, your car not working. Yeah, I mean, those things, you're gonna get the bills paid. You're gonna get the car back working again. That's fine. But the Lord said, don't worry about that. Keep serving me though. While you're going through those things, while you're going through those problems, while you're going through those issues, continue to serve me. Y'all understand? Because your situation ain't the same doesn't mean you stop. Y'all get it, right? You always keep going. You got to keep going no matter what. That's the point, right? Read that last part again, verse 5. Yeah, verse 4. I think you went to verse 5, no? I'll go read the end of verse 4.
That he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier.
Right, because the Lord chose you, man. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, if you're in this room, the Lord chose you to be in here. The Lord is not taking everybody. That's the point. And the Lord does not want everybody. That's in the Bible. You get what I mean? Now, we don't know who the Lord wants. So we're going to teach every black and Hispanic. But the Lord does not want every black and Hispanic. Some brothers are going to have to die. Some sisters are going to have to die. And they'll be born again in the kingdom of heaven. Lord allow. You know what I'm saying? But he don't want them all. But you in here for a reason. Y'all get that, right? Keep going.
Verse 5. And if a man also strive for mastery, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
One more time.
And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
Except for he strive what?
Except he strive lawfully.
Y'all understand that, right? Unless you strive lawfully, you're going to get crowned, man. You're going to get the crown of life. You're going to get rulership. You understand? You're going to get the rulership. You're going to get blessed by what? Knowing that you stood tall through the whole thing. You stood tall, and the Lord's going to bless you, brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? You got that precept for me, Oscar? Go ahead, read it for me.
So the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30, and verse 23. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart.
Right. Love thine own soul and comfort thy mind. Your heart is your mind. Y'all understand, right? Go ahead. Let me break that down for somebody. In the Bible, when you look at that word heart in the Hebrew, it means your mind. It's translated to your mind. All right, go ahead.
Remove sorrow far from thee.
Remove the sorrow far from thee. How do you remove the sorrow? We're going to get into it. Go ahead.
For sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein.
And one thing about blacks and Hispanics, and this is something that I noticed, and everyone sees it when I'm about to say it. Black and Hispanic people love being sad. It's something in us that loves being sad. And I'm gonna give you an example. Let someone die. Remember when Nipsey Hussle died, right? That mug was dragged out for a year. It was a year. Like it was like, crying and sadness, and he was Jesus, and you know what I'm saying? Like black and Hispanic people, when someone is like, listen, when someone dies in the black and Hispanic culture, you get a tattoo about him, right? They go visit the grave once a year or more than once a year. You know what I'm saying? And they have a damn celebration of life. It's crazy. It's a thing that we do because we cannot forget the dead. When the Lord said, listen, you got 7 days to cry and be unclean. And then after that, he wants you to start moving on with your life. You understand? Not saying you got to forget the dead, but how about the living? You understand? Let's worry about the living now. There's people alive that we can go and love. You can't love the dead no more. They don't need no more love. They're good. They're gone. But the people that are living, they need love. You need to go find some living people to love. You understand, right? So black people and Hispanic people, we just love that. The Hispanic culture, you guys got the Day of the Dead, right? What's it called in Spanish? Say it. Say it again. Dias de los Muertos. Salakia, that's butchered, but y'all understand. Y'all know what that is, right? So they go and get food. They go put a plate of food on the grave site, right? Liquor once a year. See, this is the thing. We got this in our culture to want to do that, but that's not biblical. But that's the part of being sad. You go read the Bible. They talk about when people died, they go to a funeral, whatever. We would rent our clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, rent your clothes means? And you know what that means? Anybody know? Young man. Yeah, they rip their clothes off. They rip their clothes. Now, you ever been to a funeral? I've been to a black people funeral, and you damn near, they want to jump in the coffin with the person. They be so sad. I'm trying to tell you, they like screaming and yelling, and then they're pulling out their hair, and it's a sad thing to see. Mothers, aunties, whatever, they going crazy. But that's just how we are. You know what I mean? In the Bible, it said we rend our clothes, pulled our hair out. You know what I mean? In sadness, though. That's just who we are. But the Lord said, what? Read it again from the top. This is an excellent precept. Pull it again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Love thine own soul.
Love thine own soul. You got to love yourself. And when you're depressed, you do not love yourself. You understand? And this is the thing. The Lord said what? Love thy brother like you love yourself. If you're a depressed person or a sad person, how can you love your brother then? You get it? How can you help him in that state? You're gonna have to clean yourself up. You're gonna have to get in the shower. You have to wash your face. You have to get outside. You're gonna have to change your situation because you're a person who can't love anybody because you don't even love yourself. You're going to have to do it. And now I'm not saying it's easy, but what I'm saying is you're gonna have to put some ambition behind changing your state. Y'all understand? Read it again from the top.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Love thine own soul.
Love thine own soul. Love yourself, man. A soul is a person. Go ahead.
And comfort thy heart.
And comfort your mind. Comfort your heart. And how do you comfort your mind? You got brothers. You got sisters, right? And also, you can think for yourself. Or if you can't think for yourself the way you want to, you get counseled by someone who is smarter or better than you. And you can change it by listening to them. Y'all understand? Someone can give you a plan on how to execute what you need to do. And you do it, and your state changes. So that's how you comfort your mind. Think about solutions. Don't think about all the problems you have. If you think about all the problems, how are you going to figure anything out? You got to start thinking you got to be a problem solver. That's what I do in life. I just solve problems. I don't think about, damn, this is in the way, that's in the way. No, you just got to think about a solution. This is what we're going to do, and that's that. And you move on. And that's how you get things off your mind, by the way, is by handling your business. Now, if you don't handle your business, things are going to stack up, and that's why you're stressed and depressed. Y'all get the point? Keep reading.
Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein.
Remove sorrow far from thee, because sorrow, being sad, killed many brothers, man, and sisters. And what's that last part say?
And there is no profit therein.
And there's no profit in death. There's no profit in death. That's the death of you. You understand? There's no profit in being sad. There is no profit in being sad. It's all troublesome. It's all negative. People love to say, I know people in the world say, you don't have their energies. Remember, y'all hear that? Their energies ain't matching. The vibe is off. Where's the vibes? That's what they be talking about. They be talking about the sadness, right? Keep going. I hate people that talk like that. It's a lot. But go ahead.
Verse 24, sir.
Yes. Because it talks about driving out. Keep going.
I think that was it, sir.
Let me get a little more. Let me hear it.
Verse 24. Envy and wrath shorteth the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
Keep going.
Verse 25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it on the chapter.
Okay, no sweat. I just break it down. So this is another way that you solve problems, right? This is General Muhammad taught us, right? When you're thinking about all your problems, stop thinking about your problems and solve other people's problems. That's how you do it. Stop thinking about your problems and help somebody else. So in that way, you get yourself off your mind, and you might realize that you're helping yourself by helping this person. Y'all understand? Think about someone else. What's the word? Empathy? Look up the word empathy for me. Go ahead, Shadow Rock.
And then they have another thing they say, get outside of yourself. There's a saying, they say, get outside of yourself.
Meaning what?
Get outside of your feelings. Get outside of your sadness or your worries and your problems.
There you go. Come on. Like someone that is in a relationship and they break up, they're heartbroken, right? So they're people will try to sympathize with them because being heartbroken doesn't feel good. But then some people are in a slump forever. If you're a true friend, you say, all right, now it's time to get up, time to shower, time to get clean and smell good, and let's go look for someone else. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to allow you to be sad and depressed anymore. Not gonna allow you to be like this. You're gonna have to clean up. Who got empathy? Go ahead, I'll read it for me.
The definition for empathy in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
Go ahead.
The understanding and sharing of the emotions and experiences of another person.
That's it, man. You gotta have that in you. You gotta feel for somebody sometime. Like, damn, I don't want you to feel like that. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change your whole state now. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna change your state, a state of mind and your state of thought, so we can, you can be a better person. Right? You gotta think about people. You gotta think about people in that way. All right. So now let's go. We good on that? We good on depression? Any questions on depression? Solid? It was something I had to answer. Let me get Ruth. Ruth in the Bible. Someone said Ruth is a Moabite. Ruth is not a Moabite. Y'all understand that? Anybody got it? Just find Ruth, a Moabitish woman. Y'all heard this before? You got it? Go ahead.
The book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 22.
Go ahead.
So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest.
Go ahead. No, so like that's good, right? So she's a Moabite, right? Let me explain to y'all how she's not a Moabite, right? Anyone, hold on one second. One second. Anyone that says that Ruth was a Moabite just doesn't understand being born in a foreign land. You understand? What are you? Are you a let me ask Ashkor, are you an Issacharite? According to America? What are you? Where were you born? And what does it say about you? You said they call you a Mexican American, right? What they call you, Nazar? They call you a Judite. They call you Nazar from the tribe of Judah. You know what I mean? From the nation of Israel. No, they don't. They say that you are African American, right? Or Negro or black, right? That's what they say. That is Ruth. Ruth was an Israelite, right? And I'm gonna give you an example. So now take me to Matthew 15 and 21, right? Matthew 15 and 21, and also we're gonna pull John 4 and 24 and 7 through 22. I'll find it for you in that one. So remember when Christ went down to, he was with the disciples. They was rolling through, and that Canaanite woman came up to him and asked him to heal her daughter. Y'all remember that? Let's pull it. Any questions online, just let me know. Could type it in. We'll get to them questions in a little bit, all right? You absolutely correct, Karazazade. Debbie Downers or negative Nancy's. I never heard bad news. I never heard. Well, I did hear that actually, but not in that way. All right. Solid. You got it? Matthew 15 and 21. That's right. So that's what I would do. Disown. Out of there. All right, solid. Go ahead. Matthew 15 and 21.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 21.
We're not going to read the whole thing, but just so anybody doesn't know the story, right? Christ came across this woman who was a Canaanite, meaning she was living in the land of Canaan, right? A lot of people might think that this woman was African because she lived in the land of Canaan, but she was not African, and we're going to pull it in a second. But the story goes that this woman came up to Christ, knowing that she was a heathen. First, he denied her from wanting to heal the daughter, but the mother was so humble, and she was so in the correct spirit of knowing who she was, that Christ healed the daughter anyway, and she wasn't sick anymore. You get what I'm saying? But that's not the point we're bringing out. The point we're trying to bring out is showing who this woman truly is, and it kind of breaks the whole myth about Ruth, right? And Ruth was also the grandmother of, or great grandmother of King David as well. All right, keep going.
So, verse 21 of Matthew chapter 15.
Go ahead.
Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast.
The woman of what?
Of Canaan.
The woman of Canaan came from the same coast. Go ahead.
And cried unto him, saying, Have mercy, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 23. But he answered her not a word.
He answered not a what?
Not a word.
Okay, solid. Now we good. So the story goes, he ignored her, and then she got in the right spirit, and then he healed the daughter. So now let's go to Mark 7 and 25. Mark 7 and 25. Or 21. 24. Start at 24. So like that.
The book of Mark, chapter 7, and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Sidon,
Go ahead.
and entered into an house, and would have no man know it, but he could not be hid.
Where you at?
Mark 7 and 24.
1 second. Oh, keep going. Keep going.
Verse 25. For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him,
Mm-hmm.
and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek.
Oh, what?
A Greek.
Go ahead.
A
Syrophoenician.
Syrophoenician
The-
by nation.
The point is what? That she was living in the land of Canaan, which is correct. That makes her a Canaanite woman. But by her nationality, she was a Greek, a Syrophoenician, meaning she was a white woman. Y'all get the point, right? So she was a white woman. It's just like, I'm going to give you a perfect example. She was a white woman who, on paper, would have to say she's from Africa. Y'all understand? Get that, right? It's just like white people living in South Africa right now. There's so many white South Africans. But that's the point. So Ruth, being an Israelite, lived in the Moab land. And she married an Israelite as well, if y'all don't know. So she had a question?
I was gonna say, like, when you fill out paperwork, it asks what your race is,
Mm-hmm.
and like Mexicans, you have to put and white because there's only 3 different like races to choose from. It's like white, black, and Asian.
They don't got Hispanic no more?
No. Well, then after that, there's a box that says, are you Latino or Hispanic?
Oh, I got you. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of, that reminded me of what you were saying.
That's the same thing. But the point was to bring out what? That she is a white woman. She's not an African. Fake Israelites love to say, and of course, those two, Matthew's account and Mark's account are of the same story. Y'all understand? That's why we went to pull 2 accounts. But fake Israelites might say that she's an African, but they don't know the Bible, because if you go to Mark, you know that she's a Greek. Y'all understand? Now let's go John 4 and 21. This is about the Samaritan woman. Y'all familiar with this, right? At the woman at the well? Yeah, the woman at the well.
The book of John, chapter 4, and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what.
Right. So now she thought she was a person who was a chosen woman of God. You understand? She thought she was the children of Israel. You know what I mean? But she's not. The Lord Christ corrected her and let her know who she was. She was a heathen. That's the point. She thought she had a misidentification of who she was. And that's just all over the Bible. And if you go into the New Testament, you're gonna see way too many of them. They said Timothy was a Greek, which he was. Timothy was a Greek because he grew up outside of Jerusalem, but he was an Israelite by blood. Y'all understand? So you'll find out all over the place, and all you gotta do is just read a little bit, have some context, and also think about your life in America, because we are all Gentiles. We were at one time the Gentiles. Y'all understand? All right, good to go. Was another thing I had to go over. How to choose a woman. Let's go. Any questions on this topic? Shadarak.
Okay, so in the book of Ruth, I believe it's chapter 2, verse 6. Right?
You can pull it.
Okay. 6. This is the book of Ruth, chapter 2, and verse 6.
Go ahead.
And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, "It is the Moabitish damsel
Mm-hmm.
that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab."
Right.
So that's it. I was going to ask. That's just like when you say yellowish, but really not. It's really not yellow. It's yellowish.
Yeah, exactly. It's more no, or just like they more saying like Moabitish, like citizen. Think like citizen. You know what I'm saying? She's a citizen, but she ain't no Moabite. You feel what I mean? Like, go ahead.
It could be like her ways, her actions seem like they Moabite.
No, she didn't even act like a Moabite. She was just in the land of Moab. If she acted like a Moabite, she wouldn't have married an Israelite. She knew exactly who she was. You get what I'm saying? She kept the laws in that land. We was under the Chinese authority. We was under their foot. We was slaves to them at one time. You get what I'm saying? Solid. Okay. So now, how to choose a woman, right? Let's go over that. How to choose a woman. What are qualities you have to look into to choose a woman, right? Anybody know? What's the number one thing she has to be? Not desire.
Has to be virtuous.
That's number one thing?
I would say one of them, like one of the most.
That's a number one thing. Think about what's the number one thing a woman has. Go ahead.
She gotta be Israel.
That's close too. That's good. What else she got to be? Everybody's gonna give it a shot? It's simple. It's a simple answer. Go ahead.
Nice.
Nice. Yes. Anybody else want to give it a shot? He's 0 for 3. Go ahead. Doc.
Following the laws.
Following the laws? Okay. Maybe if you want that, that's good. Sis?
She must have fear of the Lord.
Fear of God. That's true. All those are good. First, you got to be single. That's what I wanted you to say. She can't be nobody else's woman. Golly, there you go, coming out the water. Coming out, got it on the chat. She got to be available, brother. Right? So when you go meet her, she has to be available, right? So now, of course, the virtuous things are good. You know what I'm saying? A woman in the truth is good. Fearing God is good. All those things are good. You know what I mean? But there's also another thing that she needs to do, right? She had to be able to have to be led by you. That's the main thing, right? She wants to be led by you. What does it mean to be led by you? Break that down for me. Young man. She want to be taught. Taught? Okay, or what else? Sis.
She must be willing to follow and obey you.
True, right. This woman wants to have a head. You know what I mean? Like she wants to have someone in charge of her. And that is totally womanly. You understand? It's so womanly for a woman to want a man to be in charge of her. And don't let nobody else tell you that it's not. You know what I'm saying? That is such a womanly thing to be. And a man should want to be in charge, right? When I talk about in charge, I'm not talking about being a whole tyrant, right? Not a tyrant, but someone who leads a household, right? You can not only lead your household, you got to lead a nation. So you go do both. And you got to lead your nation like you lead the house. Like it's like you got to lead your household like you lead your nation, right? You got to be out there doing what's necessary to be done. There's so many women out there that you should not choose, that you should not be with. You get what I mean? Because choosing the wrong woman could be your downfall. Y'all understand, right? Let me get the first precept. Let me get this sex precept real quick. Genesis 24:67. Genesis 24:67. Right, submissive to her husband, right? And that's all happens through the courtship, right? When you talking to a woman, you want to ask her questions or ask her things that would make her damn near want to leave you. Most women want to leave you because asking her those questions would get the truth out of her. You know what I'm saying? What's some of the questions that you should ask a woman? Not to that.
You want to ask her?
Or tell a woman. So you could tell a woman like, "Hey, could you deal with me if I had more than one woman?" That's what you're gonna have to tell her. If that's your life, you get what I'm saying? A lot of cats might say, "Nah, I just want one, and that's it." And that's I know that's the game, right? I just want one wife, and that's okay. You know what I mean? I understand. Maybe you might say that things change, but I wouldn't lead with that. You know what I mean? I just want one wife, and that's it. And and that because you really want her, you're gonna say things like that. Don't do though. Don't do that. You don't have to tell her you're gonna have the X amount of wives. You just say, "What if? What happens if this happens?" You get what I'm saying? It's up to you what you want to do in your relationship, right? But these questions have to come up. So what else would you ask her? Not that.
Uh,
Ask her. What else would you ask her?
Do you believe abortion is right?
Perfect. That's another good one. You got to know these things. You got to do your investigation, right? Do you believe in abortion? You know what I'm saying? Would you put me on child support? You know what I mean? Would you call the police on me? You know what I'm saying? All these things have to be asked. You know what I'm saying? Have to be asked because you're interviewing someone to be with for the rest of your life. You understand? So you have to ask these things. And one thing that sometimes it happens to both brothers and sisters, right? Some women just want to sleep with you. Some men just want to sleep with you. So they're gonna say whatever it takes to get slept with, right? And that's when you have to put the pause button down, slow things down, because sometimes you're feeling that way as well. You're feeling like I want to have sex with this person too, and I'll deal with the consequences later. But you can't think like that. You got to put the pause button down. You got to slow it down. You got to think about it like, wait. Before I do that, let me wait. Let me say something that slow it down or chill. Let me not be around this person. Let me see if the consistency level is good. You got a question? Ash, go ahead.
I was going to say, sir, that's a good point because you can tell a sister what you want out of her. That this is what you want from her. This is what you're looking for. This is how I am.
Mhm.
I say yeah.
Yeah,
Just because she wants to sleep with you.
exactly. Listen, women want to have sex just as much as you do. You know what I mean, they're just not going to tell it. They ain't going to say it like you are, but they do. You understand? So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? So, hold on. What the brother say? 1 second. Should the woman live in a separate and wait? Should the women live in separate houses? So you're saying if you had two wives, should they live in separate houses? It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. It's up to the man. If he had more than one woman, they live in separate houses. I would. I would never have two women live together. That's just me, though. You know what I'm saying? But now, if you had two women who came together and said we're gonna be a team, and that sounds great. That sounds like it should work, right? Sounds like, but it really sounds like the world. You know what I'm saying? Like the world that does that coming together under one household. In reality, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's not ideal. You know what I mean? Especially for those women's feelings if you love them. You know what I mean? Because you gonna sleep in one room this night, and that's crazy. That's crazy. It would be better, in my opinion, if you have multiple women, have them in separate houses. Go ahead, sis. You got a question?
I was gonna say that situation would be like it's one of those too good to be true situations.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It sounds okay to me, and then I'm not saying this is what it is, but to me, it sounds like sexual. Sounds like it's something about to be over sexualized in that house, and you don't want that. Go ahead,
You
sis.
have to keep in mind that women are emotional too. So,
Come.
come that time of the month, one might be more emotional than the other. And, they'll get on each other's nerves or they'll get on your nerves.
Hmm. Right. And that's true. So, but let's get back on this, right? You got Genesis? Read that from me, yeah.
The book of Genesis, chapter 24, and verse 67.
Uh-huh.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent
Go ahead.
and took Rebekah,
Mm-hmm.
and she became his wife.
She became his what?
And became his wife.
Go ahead.
And he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Right. So he went. Listen, in that sex, and I mean in that situation, he took her into a tent, had sex with her, and that became his wife. That was beautiful. And they was the same race. You understand? They was the same race. They came up under the same laws, same situation, and they became one. And he chose this woman, or this woman chose him, and they lived together, just like Adam. Right? When Adam and Eve had sex, who chose who? Who chose who in that situation? Ash?
You mean like did Adam choose Eve or did Eve?
Yeah, who chose who?
The Lord chose.
And that's how you want your wife to be chosen. You understand? If you listen, you want to find a wife, let the Lord choose the woman for you. Let someone listen. You want to marry someone, bring her and call General Muhammad and talk to him about her, so he can tell you no. Let the Lord choose your woman, man. You know what I'm saying? If you choosing your woman, especially women, let the Lord choose your man. Y'all are horrible at choosing men. I mean, that's rampant in society, right? In our communities, women choosing men, they choosing the wrong man all the time, right? If you come in here, we're gonna choose the man for you, and it's better off that we do it for you. Y'all understand, right? All right, so solid. So now we go and investigate about a woman, right? Investigate about a woman. We find out about her. We get to know her. You know what I mean? And it's a go. It's good to go. You know what I mean? Everything comes out that she wants to be with you. You want to be with her. Now you have sex with her. Now, how do you deal in your marriage, right? How do you deal in your marriage? Give me some examples of turmoil in the marriage. Give me something. Give me something. Not Zach. What's one thing? Go ahead.
Like lack of communication.
Lack of communication. Meaning what?
Just distant, like just don't want to deal with each other.
Don't want to deal with each other. Perfect. I take it. Give me that precept where it says, "Let not the sun come down on your wrath." And those situations will happen, right? Where y'all not feeling each other at sometimes, right? Where you're not feeling each other at sometimes, and you don't talk. You don't talk in the house. That's cruel. It's ridiculous. Silent treatments are out. Y'all shouldn't do that to each other. Y'all understand? It's childish, right? You should come together. You should talk. You should be aggressive in your relationship, right? You ever do that? Like someone being quiet and one of y'all like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, that might be a little too aggressive. I might, what's that called? It might spark a fuse, right? You might want to say, "Hey, is everything all right? Is everything going good? Tell me what's on your mind." You guys start talking it out. You're gonna disagree. You might be disagree to agree, but you talked it out. You know the problem. You know and what the solution is. Go ahead, Nazak.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye angry and sin not.
You can be angry, man. There's nothing wrong with being angry, but just don't sin with that anger. Go ahead.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Man, listen, in the world, right? In the world, and that's why it's so important. Like we try to push, like, man, if you're gonna get a woman, man, let your woman be in here. If you're gonna get her in the world, I mean, at least have her mind, let her mind be open to joining the truth, you know, and changing her life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against it. You know, no one's against it. Who you lay down with is who you lay down with. But let their mind be a mind subjected to change and come in here with you. You ever heard of what's that one Christians love? Unequally yoked, right? You heard that before, right? The problem is people like to tell you that after they have sex, right? They have to have sex with you and then be like, "We are unequally yoked." They want to pull a precept on you, like, "You mother." Go ahead.
Can you break that down?
Put a precept. I got you.
A relationship with a woman.
I got you. Read it again, Nazazak.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye angry and sin not.
Go ahead.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil.
Don't give place to the devil, man. You know who lives in quietness? Demons. You know who lives in being angry with each other? Demons. Because demons are set as evil messengers to destroy you and your marriage. You and the person you talk to. That's what it's supposed to do. You understand? So when you have something like, there's a scripture in Apocrypha, right? About this sister who had a demon on her that loved her and killed men who try to be with her. Y'all familiar with that precept? The book of Tobit, the water. And a brother had to go get a gallbladder of a whale or something, some fish, and burn it. It was crazy. They had to cast the demon out. You feel what I'm saying? But another thing is, a lot of demons be on women and a lot of demons be on brothers. It depends on what, right? So the brother might be dealing with some demons and the sister might be dealing with some demons. The problem is these demons recognize each other. It's the reason why y'all together. You get what I'm saying? These demons recognize each other. And if you don't go to war with these demons, now someone's going to be with a busted lip. Someone's car is going to be jacked up. Someone's house is going to be messed up. And someone's kids are going to be traumatized because you can't battle these demons. You understand, right? So you have to be able to find someone that is saying that says, you know what? I am angry, but I will not cross a line with you. You understand? I'm angry with you, but I would not hurt you. That's love. And when you're angry, you want to hurt somebody, whether verbally or physically. You definitely want to do it. But then there's something that is in you that says, I can't do it. I should not do it. I know that's wrong. And I know that this situation will get worse if I do this. You understand? And it's hard to recognize it, but you're gonna have to recognize it. You have to grow from things, right? You got to see it and be like, damn it, can't do that. That's wrong. Right? What precept we at? Didn't we call someone else? Maybe I was just thinking unequally yoked. Pull that real quick. So it's good. Like, listen, all the things you say about a woman being submissive, that's good. That's good. A woman should be submissive. A man can make a woman submissive. You understand? A man can do it. A lot of women say, I'll be submissive for the right man. No, you won't. Right? That's a lie. For the right man, I'll do all, no. Why'd you do that for all the men you was with? So when is the right man going to come along? Some women got this man in their mind that doesn't exist, but only in their mind. You know what I mean? In their mind, they make up this man, and they'll never find him because he lives only in here. Go ahead.
I tell you, sir, because I was watching the podcast from Captain Soccer War,
Mhm.
Angry Black Man Media,
Right.
about relationships,
Uh-huh.
solutions, problems, and all that.
Okay.
It's funny you said that because he was saying like when you seek a woman's validation, it's never ending because they're emotional. So they want you to be this way on one day, and another day they want you to be another way.
Listen, now you said it so right. Seeking a woman's validation is false. You can never seek a woman's validation. You as a man have to validate a woman. That's just what it is. You have to give her validate. You got to make her valid by you. You have to do it. She has to show you it, and you're gonna validate her as a wife. You get what I'm saying? By the way she carries herself, and by her being your reflection and all those things, you validate her. You can't seek her validation. That's not even how the Lord wanted to be. You understand? A man a man in America who's trying to seek a woman's validation is a cat who's gonna be in a relationship every 6 months. You get what I'm saying? He's gonna be he's gonna be a good brother seeking women's validation. It's because his mother taught him that. And he's a mama's boy. That's the problem. Can't be a mama's boy. You got to be a full-grown man, an adult. You know what I mean? And that's that. But seeking a woman's validation is something that men have been doing for years. It's what Adam did. Y'all understand? Adam sought the woman's damn validation, and the Lord, cursed him for it. You know what I mean? Kicked him out the garden where he should have been thriving in. But because he sought a woman's validation, he got, was called a sinner and got him and his woman kicked out the garden to Eden. You understand? So give me unequally yoked.
So the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
Be ye not unequally yoked
Go ahead.
together with unbelievers.
Mm-hmm. This is not about marriage. Y'all understand this, right? People love to say this about marriage, but it's not about marriage. This is about you and people in the world. That's it. You get what I'm saying? So when you talk about unequally yoked, there is that we talked about it earlier in Jeremiah 2:33, right? You are absolutely different from people in the world, and don't you change it. Don't conform. We are not UPK/world brothers. You understand? We are one West, and that's that. And there's one West, and then there's the world. There's one West, and then there's the world. There's one West, and then there's the world, fake Israelites, Christians, Catholics, atheists. We are not one West, and then, we fake Israelites is on our side. No, it's one West, and that's it. That's the point. So we can't be unequally. Say it again. Read that precept again.
So 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Uh-huh.
For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness?
What's the fellowship between those two things? Now, is it saying you can't talk to people in the world? No, that's not what it's saying. Christ sat with the publicans. Y'all understand? That's not what it's saying. What is it saying, though? Is it saying? Go ahead.
Be not
Think about marriage, because you brought it up because of marriage, all right? So think about that when you're about to answer.
Okay, I think this. So my answer needs to be regarding to marriage and how it connects to this precept.
Yeah,
Okay.
just think about marriage. It's not marriage, but think about why you thought unequally yoked was about marriage.
Okay. Because you can be with. Okay, you can be with the sister. You're already married, and you're the way you see the relationship isn't how she sees the relationship.
No. Don't give me a marriage answer. I'm just saying think about marriage and why you brought up marriage when trying to ask this question.
I'm confused.
No sweat. Now, Zach, you got it.
Okay, so it's saying like you can be unequally yoked.
Read it again.
Come on, sir. 1 Corinthians 6 and
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Right. So now it's saying it doesn't say because you got different beliefs, right?
Right.
It's saying non-believers and believers.
Right.
One's a believer, one's a non-believer. Don't be unequally yoked. What does that mean?
Okay,
And
so-
think about marriage because you brought up marriage. Remember, you brought up marriage. It has something to do with it, but not the actual marriage part. But it has something to do with it. Go ahead. No, let me get a sister a shot. You got your hand up, sis?
Kind.
Go ahead.
Is it like in the world, like say you have somebody who's like Muslim and like the other one's a Catholic.
Okay.
They usually recommend not to marry like that because you're gonna have issues
Ooh, you on
with
it.
raising the children.
Uh-huh.
Or like a Republican don't marry a libertarian
A Democrat.
Democrat,
Right.
fine. Because then you're gonna have issues when raising the children or putting together a family.
Yes. You're so on it, but there's one more factor. There's one more factor. Young, let me get the young man.
It's like, does it mean to like not have your mindsets in a different place? Like how you said,
Yeah, but she said that. She said that. Not Zach. You want to say something?
I was gonna say like as far as like, is it formulate with like the marriage being sex part?
No. It doesn't formulate with the marriage being sex part. It doesn't formulate with that. But the sister was on it, right? It's about this, right? There is no common ground for the truth in the world. You get what I'm saying? There is no common ground for that. There's either I'm here and you're there. And that's what the Lord said about unequally yoked. Don't be unequal because what fellowship does the world have with us? The truth. There is no fellowship. So what happens? You have to change that person to become who you are. You get what I'm saying? You have to fight now. Now there's a fight. You get what I mean? So remember we say this all the time. Whose God is stronger? Right? Whose God is stronger? We're gonna find out on whether each person conforms to what. Either I conform from the truth to Christianity because of her, or she conforms from Christianity to the truth because of me. Y'all understand? Like, listen, we in it now, right? Like I said, I'll use the example of marriage. Because I married you, you're in the world, right? Okay, no problem. Now you're gonna come into my world. That's that. Because we're gonna be equally together in here. Y'all understand? So if you marry someone in the world, you're going to have to pull them from their world to your world. There is no fellowship with worldly things. There is no. That's a constant battle. It's rough. It's hard. It's damn near impossible. Is it possible? It's possible, but it's damn near impossible. So you're gonna have take this person from the world into your world. Y'all understand? That's what Christ was trying to do with the publicans. He sat with them and was teaching them and being around them, showing them that how one West he is and how they can be like him. And that's why brothers came in and followed Christ. Y'all understand? The brother who wrote the book of Matthew was a damn publican, and he came into the truth. You understand? He came into the truth because of Christ. So you can pull brothers from the world through who you are. That's the point. So if you married someone in the world, you can pull them into the truth through who you are, or they'll leave. Either one is fine. The point is you can't leave. You can't get pulled. You understand? I mean, Romans. So get an Israelite woman in the truth. If you can. Is this Karatazar or Karatazar? Who is this Karatazar? This is Karatazar Kalab. I don't know who that is. I thought it was our Karatazar. That's not our Karatazar. Okay, no sweat. Where we at? Romans 7:1, right?
The book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
Mm-hmm.
For a man which hath an husband, for the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth.
Go ahead.
But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
Right. So the Lord said, man and woman have a dominion over each other until one each other die. So now go take me to let me get 7 and 7, I believe. There's the unbelieving husband and the unbelieving wife. You know what I'm talking about? Nazar, can you pull it for me? Yeah, where it says the unbelieving husband, though he be the unbelieving husband is with this woman and they be unclean or something like that. You know what I'm talking about, Shadrach? Pull it for me. I think it's in Romans. It's in where we at?
Romans 7 and 2.
Shit, hold on. It might be Corinthians. It's in Corinthians, right? 7. There you go. 1 Corinthians 7 and 14. Unbelieving wife and unbelieving husband. Read the wife first. I think wife comes first.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
The unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, right? So if you're two brothers, if you a brother and you are in the world, or you're a sister in the world, right? Basically, if you're not non-HBK, you're in the world, right? So now, if you're married to a woman in the world, she is an unbelieving woman because she is in the world. She does worldly things like what? Give me an example of what a worldly woman does. She might, go ahead, Ash.
She celebrates Christmas.
There you go. She celebrates her birthday. She celebrates holidays. That's a good one. Or she gets high, or she eats unlawful foods, whatever. But she loves you. She wants to be with you. She's a sinner, but she doesn't want to leave you. Y'all understand, right? Now, that is a very difficult situation for a priest. Go ahead, no sweat. Or a man who serves God is a very difficult thing because it makes you feel inferior to a woman when you shouldn't feel inferior. Y'all understand? You shouldn't feel like that, but you do because you want your woman to be in the truth and rocking like you rocking. You know what I'm saying? But she isn't though, right? Read it from the top.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
The unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife. Go ahead.
And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Go ahead.
Elsewhere your children unclean, but now are they holy.
You understand that? Elsewhere is your children unclean, but now they're holy now. because one person serves God, and the Lord is going to protect it because that one person, and that because that person is dwelling with them, even though they're in the world. Say you got a woman, she get high, or you got a husband that get high, and you in the truth. Okay, no sweat. You keep rocking. You understand? You keep going hard and serving God, and the Lord will bless you, and the Lord is going to continue to bless you. You know what I mean? Don't get mad at that. Go ahead, brother.
This particular verse right here is strictly talking about husband and wife or anybody that's in your family.
Like, no, this is talking about your like immediate family, like your people in your household. Think about that. Like the people that live with you in your household. Like this doesn't protect your mother. You know what I mean? This doesn't protect your brother. It protects your woman and your kids. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ash. Yeah, I thought you had your hand up. Okay, keep going.
Else were your children unclean, but
Mhm.
now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart,
But if the unbelieving depart, imagine if your woman says, you know, I'm tired of all this ISUPK bullshit. I'm out of here. Or your man says, I'm tired of you and your head cover and you being all better, the best woman ever. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Imagine they say that. Go ahead.
let him depart.
Leave them. Let them be. The Lord said, let them go. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, if your woman says, I'm leaving you, listen, I'm telling you this as a man of God. Let her. She's not in her right mind. Don't say, baby, please. Baby, please, don't leave me. Don't do that. That's what she wants you to do. You have to let her go. Because guess what? In 1 hour, she changed her mind. Because women are emotional and they say things that they don't mean sometimes. But you can't stop her. Don't try to stop her. Everybody understand, right? Keep going. And as a woman, that's already in them. They ain't gonna stop no man. They'll call you 100 times, but they ain't gonna stop you. Go ahead.
A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases.
You understand that? You're not under bondage under such case. If it happens, it happens. Let it go. It's good. You know what I mean? But the scriptures also say now, if the man want to come back or that woman want to come back, you're gonna have to get them back. That's what the scripture said. As long as they ain't did nothing unlawful, right? You're gonna have to be with them again. That's marriage. Sex is forever, according to God. Y'all understand? So now we good, right? Let me get one more precept. Let's go into divorce. I'm going a little bit over, right? Let's go into divorce. Let's get divorce in the Old Testament when Moses, when he gave you a bill of divorcement, and let's get the New Testament where Christ said you should not ever get a divorce. It shouldn't have been like that from the beginning. But let's get it, all right? Any questions online before we're about to wrap it up in 10 minutes? Let me know if you have any questions online. I'll answer them, okay? So Wap said, I want 10 children from all 10 wives in 10 years. I need you to help me make that happen. So Wap, I don't know if I can make that happen, brother, but Lord be with you on that.
I think you were saying that as like something to tell like the sister.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. That's hilarious, so Wap. And that's what you're going to have to tell her. So she don't have to. That's what you see if she really love you, right? She really like you. That's crazy. She might leave. So, okay, let's get it. Divorce.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
When a man has taken a wife and married her, and it comes to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her.
Right. So now a man and a woman, they're together, and he sees no favor in this woman's eyes no more because he sees some uncleanness in her. Go ahead.
Then let him write her a bill of divorcement
Mm-hmm.
and give it in her hand and send her out of his house.
Y'all understand that, right? There was a bill of divorcement at that time, and they would get divorced, and that was that. And now this woman is free to marry. Y'all understand? So in America, they don't, mind you, they say the Old Testament is a lie. But of course, they take the things out of the Old Testament and apply it to their life. You understand? So like divorce is one thing that they say is good. Tithes, remember tithes in the Old Testament, they say is good, right? Give me some other stuff in the Old Testament, I believe. They believe, Salakia.
They believe it's
is done away with. But they kept the divorce and they kept the tithes, the Christian church. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, the dietary law. My grandparents both were pastors. My grandfather and my grandmother were both pastors. They got divorced. Hey, that's wild, right? Like they got up into their like 50s and 60s and got a divorce. How y'all gonna get a divorce? The Bible would say you can't get a divorce. Now let's get the scripture where Christ said you can't get a divorce. You got it? Go ahead. Matthew 19, right? Go ahead.
Book of Matthew chapter 19 and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement?
Right. There was a time where Moses was coming out the land of Egypt. You understand? With all these brothers and sisters. Right? And Christ is going to explain it. Go ahead.
And to put her away. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts.
Because of the hardness of your minds. Because you're hard-headed. Because you're a hard-headed people. Go ahead.
Suffered you to put away your wives.
He suffered it. He suffered it to put away your wives. He suffered it. You understand? He made it up. He made it possible, being in charge, that listen, man, I'm gonna give these people divorces because I cannot deal with these damn councils all damn day. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm gonna give them the ability to divorce. Now, in a marriage, you can get a legal separation. Y'all understand that? In ISUPK, you can get a legal separation. It's not what's that word? Commended? It's not. What's the word I'm looking for? Not commended. Recommended. It's not recommended. It's recommended that you work out your problems. You know what I mean? With your wife or your husband, right? But there is that. And once Jeremiah Hyman says that you're separated, you're gonna hate it that you're separated. I'm trying to tell you. You're gonna say, I want a separation. Then he's gonna give you the separation, and then you better not break the rules after that. Then you're gonna hate your whole separation. Then you're gonna love your husband or your wife, and you're gonna come together and wish to never be separated again. Or some of y'all gonna be like, "Oh, I need a longer separation." He gonna give it to you too. He'll give it to you after much scrutiny. He'll give it to you. Go ahead.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
Except for it be for what?
For fornication. And shall marry another.
Go ahead.
Committed adultery.
You commit adultery. You cannot put your woman away. The Lord said, listen, once you have sex with a woman, she is yours for the rest of your life. There is no such thing as divorce. Why did he say that? Because it's not brotherly for you to have another brother's woman. You understand? It is not brotherly for me and Oscar Ward to sleep with the same woman. That's not brotherly. If Oscar Ward slept with a woman and I slept with a woman, I'm like, damn, Oscar Ward slept with this woman. That's crazy. I'm gonna look at Oscar Ward like, he knows what my woman looks like, and I don't like that. And Christ said that's the reason why he didn't want nobody to get a divorce, because this woman should only know you. Whenever my daughters have sex with a man, that is the only man I pray to the Lord that they'll ever know. Living. You understand? I pray that the first man they have sex with is the last man they have sex with. That's how the Lord intended it to be. Of course, we live in a society where you're the 19th person. You know what I'm saying? Right. We live in a society where you're the 51st person. You know what I mean? Now, that's just a society. But if she's born again, no one ever had her. That's how you take her from being unequally yoked. Y'all understand? Keep going.
And shall marry another committed adultery.
He committed adultery by doing that. You don't want to commit adultery. You know what I'm saying? You do not want to commit adultery. The Lord said, "Is that land polluted?" And that's that, man. With that, I'm going to pass the class over to Preaching Officer Oscar Ward. Yes.
Israel, Elijah, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Israel, Elijah Shabbat. Elijah, Rock.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatan.
Israel Sar, face the Akwafi, Akwa. Will you stand? We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Israel, Elijah Shabbat. Elijah, Rock.
Yahweh Shemar Aladar Bashem Yahushua.
Yahweh